And welcome back to Turn Zero, the premier show to up your game of Star Wars Legion by setting you up for success before your minis even hit the table. This week, we're continuing our matchup of Imperials and Rebels. We did an Imperial list last week with Matan and Mike, and we're back with Josh and Nick, and they're going to build their Rebel list right in front of us.
The
Now,
winning list.
Yes, exactly. Someone had to say it.
it's I'm excited. I really liked what they built on the Imperial side. It's a cool, powerful list. I know what it looks like, and you two don't. So you're in for a challenge. But Nick, what have you guys brought us this week?
Well, if you've talked to me, you know that Operative Luke is one of my favorite units. I love putting him on the table with Rebels, so I want to build something around Operative Luke. So I think me and Josh are going to go in that direction.
I think it'd be perfect. You said they had a powerful list. That mean they're bringing Vader? Are we going to get a Vader Luke matchup here?
They're bringing something that sits on the table.
Hey man, I don't know if any casts that actually like Vader.
It takes a special gift to like Vader. So.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, I think we're going to start with Operative Luke and Force Push because you have to have Force Push. Best card in the game. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think Force Push is a necessity, especially with a lot of the new objectives, being able to push push them off, let's say, key positions, or push them off further away so they can't drop a bomb, things like that. But is Force Push the best force power in the game? Yes, it is. So I think it's pretty much auto-include. Yeah. Also, Mind Trick, I think, is another one we have to put on Luke, even though, unfortunately, it did get a little bit of a nerf, and we can't stop people like Grievous anymore with it. But you serve your master well. We got to have a trigger for it. And I think if we're putting that in, which we haven't decided yet, I think we need to put in Mind Trick too.
Yep. So, I mean, we started with the Operative, but we definitely need at least one commander. I really like Cassian. Cassian's long-range rifle gives you like that infinite range pierce that you're missing, an aim token. He's just automatic 1 damage to anything with that critical. So I think we're gonna have to probably try and put Cassian in there with sniper configuration.
So Commander's an interesting one here because Cassian works. I've played a lot of Cassian and Luke, and I think he works okay with Luke. He has 2 cards, Volunteer Mission, that one will allow Luke to get a recover in case he burns all of his force powers, and also gives him Danger Sense 1, which, if you're rolling that with Reds, that's great. Reds with Deflect, even better.
Yep.
But Leia also is pretty good here, too, especially with the new Specialist packs that are coming out. Because she has that all-important command, exactly, Vigilance, and she also has Take Cover.
Yeah.
So, and I still think there's a lot of utility with No Time for Sorrows. I mean, that extra 4-inch movement with Luke can really get him engaged. So I don't know. I like Cassian more only because I like the Pierce, and I do like Volunteer Mission, but I think that's tough. Because I think we're really missing out on Vigilance. The big question is Leia going to be near Luke often, or is she going to want to be closer to the gun line that we have?
It's risky putting her keeping her with Luke later in the game early. Yeah, sure. Do we want to look at the direction of an officer just to save those points?
Officer, what are they at 45 now?
Yep, 45.
Yeah. Budget Leia, so we save 45 points.
And you don't really need more than Take Cover 1 in this list because Luke's the only one right now at this point who needs a dodge. So
yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah,
1 command slot, so you can fit Vigilance in there, and then he's 50 points.
Yeah, and if you need someone to shadow Luke, you're only dumping 50 points on Luke, where you can have someone else sit back at the army. Let's say Cassian doesn't infiltrate. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that Rebel officer might be replacing Leia in the future. We don't get No Time for Sorrows, but we do get the benefit of some of Cassian's cards.
But it also, exactly. If you're taking Cassian, Luke, and Leia, you're really struggling building that command hand. He also has Inspire, so that's not something to ignore. Cassian can get into suppression trouble a little bit. He does have bailout cards, but you won't want to put yourself in a position where you have to play Volunteer Mission just to save Cassian.
Yeah.
Panicking. So So Rebel Officer Vigilance.
What does that put us at?
Oh, with Rebel Officer and Vigilance, that's going to be just
Rebel
50
Officer,
points.
Vigilance.
I've got a few extra background things in here right now.
Okay, so we have
160
Luke with
points.
Force Push and Mind Trick, and then Cassian. Right now, we just have Naked with the Sniper. So what are we at? 360.
360.
Yeah.
Um,
So interesting thing on that, Nick. I prefer Cassian with either just the recon intel and the sniper, or just the sniper. And part of the reason is that nerf we had to the turn 0 tokens.
yeah.
And so I've actually dropped push on him because of that. I know it's still good with his pistol.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting that turn 1 four aims to try and
Correct.
remove 4 minis.
Try to just delete 4 minis turn 1. You can't do that anymore. I think I agree with you there. Cassian is he's going very lean at 100 points with just the sniper configuration. So
I'm curious if, especially right now, as you're still building things out, holding off on those upgrades to build out that more core and skeleton of the army. Is that a technique that you guys use, or do you try to figure out exactly how you want your characters? Because Rebel lists are so character heavy.
Luke's so expensive. So starting with Luke is trouble. I'd love to. Are we going to consider K2 and just fill up all those characters?
So personally, I like to start off with
points.
Basic, what's necessary.
Sure.
And I think Nick does as well as far as Luke goes, because like you said, they're so expensive. So I know push is mandatory, and I would say Mind Trick probably is too. And so that's not usually how I build. I normally start with the centerpiece and then load them up. But again, like Nick said, Luke's really expensive, so we got to start lean and fill in later.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see what we're looking with later and how much of a bid we might want to take, what we're going to build out from here. Obviously, we need our core requirement. Rebel Troopers. Do we want to go with the naked Rebel Troopers, or do we want to bring some heavies in here? I'm looking at, like, Cassian loves a gun line.
So let's just go ahead and put in the 3 standard Rebel Troopers.
Right.
So that puts us 120 more points. That puts us at 480. And before I start filling in the core, do you want to add in some more buffer activations, either with R2 or strike teams?
Let's start with strike teams.
Yeah. I think one of the key things with building a Luke list is, and I played in YBTL Luke at 9 activations. He's too expensive to be going last at 9. So I think 10 at a minimum. I think we're really trying to push for 11 here.
Are you going all the way up to 3 sniper teams with this one to start?
Let's start with 2.
Yeah, I have an issue, and I don't want to get too much on a tangent list building here. I personally don't like an excessive amount of strike teams. 1, because they die really easily. And 2, I also have Cassian with the sniper here. So I have 3 forms of ranged pierce.
Yep, absolutely.
And if I go up against a droid army, and I know we're not doing that today, but for the next episode, but if I have triple snipers that are only hitting, 44% of the time in heavy cover, really, I don't think that's very good against something like droids.
Well, you're not going to get an argument from me.
It's more like 24% of the time.
I don't know, unless you have those crit rolls, which white dice seem to do. So maybe it is an advantage for the rebel snipers.
Maybe we should bring some Z6s.
Yeah, my secret today was I didn't have snipers to roll crits on the whites.
Oh yeah, let's not get into that. I'm still a little salty.
So right now we've got a operative Luke, Cassian, and officer, and then a base of 3 rebel troopers and 2 snipers. So we're sitting at 576 points and about 8 activations. Where are you guys going from here?
576. Did you put in 3 snipers? 2 strike teams.
2 strike teams. 2. Yep.
Yes.
3 rebel troopers.
Yeah, and three rebel troopers.
I think do we want to throw some DLTs on these rebel troopers at this point? We still have a lot of points.
So I'm more of a Z6 fan myself.
Ooh.
But a lot of times that's because I like to play with Leia instead. And I like to be able to push them into range to be able to shoot with the Z6, whereas Cassian doesn't do that as well. I think I'll agree with you on the DLTs on this case.
This case.
Well, because we don't really have anyone backing up Z6s here. The single officer with just one Inspire isn't really going to do much. Cassian's cards don't help out with the Z6. And I don't have anyone throwing out a lot of tokens either. So as opposed to Leia, who can do at maximum 3 dodges, I think we go DLTs here for sure.
All right.
And you put all 3 DLTs on all 3, I've got you up at 654 now.
Okay.
And still 8 activations.
So we're at 8 activations. If we're running 3 DLTs, why not 4 DLTs?
I like the logic. You're even 720 then with 4 DLTs.
All right. Well, so that leaves us a few options.
I think you still... Oh, 720. Okay, never mind. My tabletop is messed up. 720. So 9 activations.
Yep. You're a little high to bring... Oh, no, you can fit K2 in there.
We could fit K2 and the gun for exactly 800, but I don't think we... I think we want to bid here. So I think we got to find something that's less than that. R2-D2 and 3PO is an option, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it's another way of getting...
Some tokens on Luke.
Some tokens on Luke, yeah. So do we want to go... Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to cough there. Are we wanting to get this at... This is tough. 10x or 11x here? Because 11 activations is really going to help out Luke, but then it leaves us pretty squishy. It really puts everything on Luke's shoulders.
It does. I mean, right now we could go the 4 DLTs and then add 2 more, 2 Rebel Troopers, no upgrades. But then we have no bid. If we're running no bid, I would want it to be for like a good reason.
Yeah, we'd really get stomped on bombing run.
5 DLTs is a lot of range 4. You have a ton of range firepower here. You have 3 range 5 plus units with Pierce. You have 5 range 4 units with critical, and you would be at 786 points.
And I think that
I like that bid.
I think I like that too, because at 786, and with that bid and all the range we have, we can play a little bit more defensively. So we don't have to worry about getting Luke in. Still, though, 10 activations with Luke. What do we think the bids are going to be?
It's an Imperial list. They don't.
It's an Imperial list. They're probably not going to bid. Unless they're playing triple bikes and he's really trying to go for. So 786, 5 DLTs.
It could also be. I know we're going to be doing a great team up against the Imperial list, but it could also be good for our audience to think about what would you do coming into a tournament environment these days. Say something simple like a 3-round tournament. Where would you want your bid to be?
As a rebel, I want my bid to be at least 10.
Yeah, I think at least 10 too.
There are some things that I just don't handle well, like bombing run, specifically stuff like that. I don't want to be stuck with that, so I would rather take the 10 plus bid here, and have all of this ranged firepower, and then have the best lightsaber in the game, Luke Skywalker. I don't hate this.
Yeah, I like it. We don't really have any useless units here. Everyone has a job, and sometimes the dice don't go your way. And if Luke goes down early, we still have
You have a lot of things to back him up.
a gun line to back it up. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. Again, not having too many ways of dealing with suppression for the core. But I think given that they're shooting mostly at range 4, I don't think they're going to have too many shots on them. I think we have 3 forms of range pierce, which will help us against Empire, help us to get clones. The DLTs definitely outrange most of what droids are going to bring. Z6 can be really good at shredding B1s, but if you miss going in, they can also just get wiped out.
Yeah.
So I like the DLT here. I'm still cut on going whether 11 activations or 10, but I think, we don't want to lose the bid, especially to something like Hostage.
You have to if you want to bid and you want 11 activations with this skeleton here, I think you lose too much like filler. We're like cutting a lot just to get that buffer activation, and I hate playing like that.
Yeah, you're probably dropping at least 3 DLTs to get to that, I think.
Yeah, you're either dropping like 3 DLTs or you're dropping stuff I
couldn't find anything else. Force push.
Yeah. So this turns out to be pretty slim.
Yeah.
But again, I like spreading out some of the points some, and I think that's going to be good here. And I think that just keeps consistency in the tournament. Whereas if you have one really strong unit and you're playing 5-6 matches and your opponent rolls 10 crits and it gives that Luke gets damaged pretty early, then
Absolutely. So, all right. So it sounds like we're settling into a 10 activation, 786 list centered around Operative Luke with Cassian and a Rebel officer backing him up, and a strong Rebel gun line with our new DLT 20s.
We'll see.
And keeping that range 5 Pierce with 2 snipers coming in. Let's move on. You guys mentioned it earlier.
Part.
Yeah, this is a hell of a command card deck to start choosing. So what are you thinking? You only have 6 cards out of 24, I think. Or no, that's too many. 18.
So I think there are 3 auto includes with this. Nick, Son of Skywalker, it's going in there.
Okay.
I mean, we have 7 black with Surge Crit.
I want to roll that twice in a turn.
I also think Return of the Jedi is also in there. It's a free dodge
cards. You need the easy Luke dodge cards, I think.
Now, the last one I'm going to say, normally I would have auto include, but it's a little bit less auto include here. Volunteer mission, and mainly because
I agree with that.
There's only 2 units that are really benefiting from it.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree that. Let's circle back to that one.
Okay.
I think we're taking crack shot over serve. I mean, not like we know we're playing Imperials, but we won't always know that going into a tournament. And the amount of droid players you see out there, serve does nothing in a droid matchup, and crack shot is so good against clones, and it's pretty good against Imperials. So I like crack shot as the second 1-pip. It also doesn't put everything on Luke's back.
What about sabotaged? That really stops Iden. It really stops Take That Clankers, and especially with the new Take That Clankers that's going to be coming out with
like 5.
Yeah,
you get 5 orders.
Yeah, it's going to help suppress that some. It stops a lot of Palpatine's cards.
Yeah,
and I believe it also stops the new 1-pips as well, which I think we're going to see in almost every of the droid spam lists, and we will probably be seeing with Rex Clone Commander.
I'm not against it. I hadn't really thought about it. I haven't played Rebels a whole lot since the change, but I mean, I'm not totally against it.
Okay.
I guess mostly my argument was let's not take serve your master well.
Yeah. So
skip that one.
We'll put that aside. Let's put crack shot in just to have as a placeholder. So I personally don't like crack shot anymore. The main reason is the turn 0 tokens.
Yeah, the turn 1 shot was debilitating, and now
but if he does get within range 2, I think it can really hurt some units as well. So I'll put it in there. I do really like you serve your master well, but I think we're going to see a ton of droids
Mm-hmm. I
And
just look
there's
at it like it's not good against 25% of lists. It's absolutely useless, and you can't use it at all.
and we don't have that big special forces unit to use it on either. We don't have Wookiees, we don't have Mandos, so we're spending it on a DLT to maybe
Correct.
get a range 4,
That's not
hopefully a range 3 shot. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Two
So-
pips. What are you thinking for two
yeah.
pips?
Let's go to the 2 pips. I think Last Stand is way too good not to take here. Indomitable, getting the free tokens when you're injured. It screams Luke, and it's even better on Operative Luke than it is on Commander Luke because Operative Luke is better. I don't know. I don't think there's much of an argument there.
So
Fight me.
I may fight you.
Please do.
I like my allies, the Force here, and I think we both agree on that because that does give him the dodge. What are your thoughts on Full of Surprises?
I like Full of Surprises, but it's greedy. It only gives Luke the order, and then what I find is that when you play it, if Luke isn't already half dead, you just don't shoot at Luke. It's like, Luke gets that dodge. It's like, I'm just not going to shoot at Luke now because he's going to deflect a couple shots back at me and probably take no damage.
That's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing, but
Yeah.
I
My only reasoning why is because it's timing neutral. The rest of
Yeah.
the list, because everything else is range
you're
4 and
correct.
beyond, and I can't guarantee that Cassian's going to be near Luke by the time
Play
he
Last Stand.
needs Last Stand. Can I phone in a friend?
yeah.
Keegan, you're the rebel player. What do you think?
This is a true sign of desperation because while I'm the rebel player, I have never played Luke.
Oh, that's right. You don't play lightsabers. Oh no.
Not yet.
I take it back.
I think the last point that you just made actually is a really powerful one. Cassian, especially if you're bringing him for the sniper mode, is probably not going to be close enough when the value of Last Stand gets it to play to get that in there.
I look at Cassian and I think I played him in Invader League last season, and I think I deployed him in pistol configuration in every game I played. It didn't go poorly for me.
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of forget that maybe I'm not going to infiltrate Cassian in this game.
Yeah, I'm curious if this list feels like it's geared up to focus a little more on the longer range game, providing that cover for Luke to make the dive. And so if you're thinking, unless you're thinking that it's going to be Luke and Cassian moving forward, you might want to hold back on Last Stand just because you're not necessarily getting Indomitable's fine, but he's got force suppression. He doesn't really need it.
Yeah. No, you make good points. You all changed my mind.
So we doing full surprises or are we holding it?
Let's do Full Surprises.
Let's do it.
Let's give Luke the dodges.
Let's give him that 10 surge. Deflect.
With Vigilance, maybe he starts his turn with 2 dodges. And
That's
then,
true. Yeah.
There we go.
You get to do it twice.
All right. You guys settled earlier on Return of the Jedi as an auto include, and we're fighting over Assault, Covering Fire, I Am a Jedi, and Volunteer Mission for this last one. You do have five. You have five core
You mean
units.
not coordinated fire? Is that what you mean? No. That's a point. So far, we have Son of Skywalker, Full of Surprises, Return of the Jedi.
Yes, and my ally is the Force.
Miles Force and
And my
crack
allies.
shot.
Yep.
We have a lot of Luke cards here.
Yeah.
Do we want to consider taking not a Luke card? I'm against Covering Fire, if only because I can't put an order on Luke.
You do have Volunteer Mission available.
We do have Volunteer Mission.
which will give Luke the red danger sense, Magic Christmas Land.
Magic Christmas Land. That's where I live, man.
I'm for Volunteer Mission.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think it has its downsides, but I'm not. It's another approach card that helps him.
Yeah.
Why not?
I can't take all of Luke's cards.
Yeah, right.
And then, I can't.
Well, and I think the bigger thing is that's good about Volunteer Mission is Luke only has Master of the Force 1.
Yep.
Cassian likes to have at least one suppression token on him, and he can eat suppression pretty quickly. and I think that helps him out quite a bit. And it's also that free reconfigure for him. Let's say we get forward and it gets that pistol. I wouldn't say it's an auto include. I think it's better than
little things that this card does.
Yeah.
For this list.
That point about Cassian using it to recover, I think, is what gets around the argument against Last Stand, because he could be playing this card on the move in to back up Luke and thereby getting closer in, whereas Last Stand's not necessarily guaranteed to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. And this card you can issue to any 2 troopers other than Cassian, so it's a little more flexible.
Yeah.
Than Last Stand, where Last Stand specifically. Well, no, it's not. But never mind. It's not specific. All right.
It's not specific, but they don't. Anyone who's not well, it's the same for volunteer mission. As far as not getting the benefit of the card.
Yeah, they just I for some reason I thought Last Stand was operative or commander. I don't know why.
Hey, we also give a sniper danger sense here, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It'll live forever.
That white dice danger sense, I guarantee it's a guaranteed win. My year and a half of Biston promises that. So before we get into the battle cards, which is the real meat and potatoes of like what we want to do going into the next episode, you guys dropped You Serve Your Master Well, and you talked about wanting a 10-point bid, and we're at you still have at 786. I'm curious if with this command hand, if there's any consideration do you still want to include Jedi Mind Trick, and also is there room for tenacity to go on to Luke?
I mean, there's always room for more dice.
Is that something that you would want to do?
So here, before we get to hang out with our other Imperial friends over there, if you have Mind Trick on Luke, you kind of not assume, but if you don't have Mind Trick on Luke, they probably don't have Serve Your Master Well, because there isn't a way for you to automatically trigger it. But by taking Jedi Mind Trick, but for 5 points, you automatically they're like, okay, they might have serve. I have to be careful.
Makes sense.
So I've always kind of looked at it like that. It's like the insurance, I guess.
Yeah.
And putting 2 suppression on shore trooper is debilitating, because they aren't phase 2s. They only have 1 courage.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. Just want to be sure we were checking in on that. What about tenacity to get up to an even 10-point bid? Is that something you want to do, or do you want to keep the extra 4 points?
I think we're going to keep the 4 points.
I think so as well. A 10-point is at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit more comfortable at 786. Maybe there's going to be some of the spam lists that have a lot of weak activations that go 780, but I'm not too concerned. My only big concern is bombing run, but a lot of times bombing run lists, they start to get tight on points. And we do have enough, like Nick said, range 4 and what do we have? 9 units that shoot at range 4? No, 8 units that shoot that far. I think we might be okay against some bombing run lists. So.
Yeah, solid, awesome. Well, let's get into the battle cards. Starting with objectives. Do you see any must-have objectives in this list that you've got?
Sabotage the moisture evaporator. We're blue players. So.
Yep, we're blue. Sabotage.
Yeah.
We have a lot of range. I'm okay with. Keegan, I know you won't like this. I'm okay with payload here.
I am admitting that I need to learn how to play payload, and most of my payload hate is I don't know how to play payload well. So.
Yeah, but we can take a lot of pot shots while we're moving the cart,
Absolutely.
so I'm okay with payload here.
Yep. Key positions?
I'm going to hold off on key positions because I have a long rant about that, but I can also see it going in. I'm going to start excluding things instead.
Yep.
I'm going to drop bombing run for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to drop hostage exchange because we don't have You Serve Your Master Well. If we did, I might be okay with hostage exchange. But I also hate that objective. So what are we left with? Recover,
key, intercept, and breakthrough.
Key and breakthrough.
We're not playing breakthrough.
Okay.
Breakthrough. Yeah, we don't have units that move very well because they're easily suppressed, and the only one that's probably going to get across the board is Luke. Mm-hmm. So I hope he destroys their entire army, so I get 1 point. So I want to put intercept in.
Okay.
mostly because we have a lot of bodies here.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about really pushing until later on. So that leaves
Recover or key?
positions.
cover key positions.
It's tough.
So I personally don't like key positions, but I think it might be okay in this list because we have a lot of range for critical. And my big reason is I think we're going to see a lot of heavies, and key positions just isn't fun against double heavy lists. And if we see a lot of double force users as well, they're going to bully us better than we can them. So I'm hesitant about key positions, but I think we run into the same problem with the recover the supplies as well.
Neither of them are great.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, you have to take one.
Key positions does allow us to wait until turn 6 to do so, and also keeps us from getting beat up by the speed 3 list.
And you have force push Luke.
We do. So key positions.
All right, cool.
All right.
Lock it in.
On deployments, what are your must-haves?
Let's get our auto include in. Advanced positions and major offensive.
All right.
Yep. I just don't have off loop. Why would we not have advanced positions?
Absolutely.
And major offensive is also pretty neutral, so I like it as well.
Yep. Any other autos?
So I don't like danger close or battle lines here or disarray.
Okay. Makes sense.
I don't like hemmed in as a rebel.
Do we like hemmed in as Luke though?
I like hemmed in as Luke, but overall as a rebel, and like we put a lot of points into those white save rebel troopers.
That's true.
DLTs,
They get pretty close,
and they could get wrecked really fast because they're basically already at range 4 as soon as like they're deployed.
Is Long March one we put in here?
So we put advanced positions and major offensive in. I'm not against rollout and Long March.
It does take back a little away from Luke, but we do have what eight range 4 weapons.
Yeah, he's speed 2, so he's not like he's Vader. He's gonna get there. Like Long March Vader in the old days was like, oh, you lose.
You lose and you don't have any fun doing it.
Yeah, and I just don't like disarray really
I don't
at
like.
all.
Yeah, if I had R2 or some more like even more timing neutral things, yeah, I would say disarray would be fine here.
Yeah, and I don't. That's another reason I don't like battle lines too. Is no R2. Same with danger close, no R2. So.
Yep.
All right. That settles us in for that. What about conditions? Any auto includes there?
Not limited visibility.
Yep.
No.
Maybe we start with the
clear
auto.
conditions for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think supply is fine. Supply drop is fine here.
Yeah.
And
I like fortified's kind of neutral. It gives you a little bit more heavy cover.
Yeah, we have a lot of sharpshooter and crit too. So yeah, I think I like fortified as well.
Cool.
So what does that leave us with? Rapid reinforcements,
Rapid
minefield,
minefields,
limit, war weary, hostile.
Yep.
I mean, minefield against white saves is bad, but we have a lot of dodges though.
Yeah, you can take dodges and walk in. That always works.
Yeah. No, I think I like rapid here.
Yeah, I think rapids like
Yeah.
you just drop a DLT in at the end of the round and it's probably fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Awesome.
That was easy.
I think we I think we have a rebel list here, boys. We are, just to wrap it up, we are at 10 activations. It's with a 14-point bid at 786, centered around operative Luke with mind trick and force push. We've got Cassian just with a sniper rifle, a rebel officer with vigilance, 5 DLT rebels, and a pair of strike teams. This was a great conversation, guys. Before we sign off, any thoughts and or challenges or fighting words for your Imperial opponents this time?
And
We're gonna crush them.
I don't need to waste my breath on saying what's already going to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna crush them.
Awesome.
Easy.
Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, come back next week where we bring the last 2 weeks of preparation to the table for our exciting Turn Zero matchup. We're going to put these on. We're going to figure out who is the blue player. We're going to watch faces of shock and surprise when they lose that bid, and then we're going to do some battle cards. Thank you all, and have a great week.
Thanks, Keegan.